Hello, this is Fighting Irish with 14.7 Operation Live and Let Die. The USA and KMT turn. Alright, let's do some house bit of cleaning before we start our actual turn. Let's start with the FEC. We overspent by 2 IPP. I took a militia off British Malaya, dropped it off there. The British overspent 2 IPP. We'll take it off, put it right there. Up here in Stalingrad, I believe you can only buy 2 Katyushas in a turn. So it was downgraded to a mech, and the Russians save a IPP. Now, in the mid, the British had a destroyer in Sea Zone 81. So before this land battle happened, there was a two coastal ships, or 2 coastal subs, and a fighter that took out the destroyer, and the destroyer took out one of the coastal subs. Fighters land here, I believe. Some rules on carriers. This is now the new naval fleet in Sea Zone 50. I personally like the Global 40 rules on aircraft carriers. Personally, I think you should have the option either to put a carrier out with planes or without planes. In this one, I believe you put them out without planes, and then you play with the new expansion or the new updated where you put a carrier out and you have to put planes on. So either way, you have to do one or the other. So Panzer J decided to buy 3 subs instead of the 2 carriers. I believe he did a colonial, and I'm not sure what else he purchased at the moment, but the carriers did not come out because the planes were not allowed. So I'm not sure if that, I'm pretty sure it applies over there too in Japan with the 5 carriers on the, or 4 carriers on the board. I'm pretty sure it's going to go that way as well. But like I said, I'm not a big fan of this rule. So back on here, the fleet carriers were put back on the projection chart, I believe in stage 2, because he changed his buy. So same thing. I'm like, let's move to tech. Let's start our turn. USA, heavy armor, heavy bombers, advanced sub-warfare, strategic rockets, improved factories, heavy battleship, and heavy carriers. Let's start with the first one, heavy armor. We needed a 8, we got a 10, so that one is on the board. Okay, next one is heavy bombers, need a 9. Got a 12, so we got heavy bombers. Moving to advanced sub-warfare, we need a 7. Got a 2, so that's a no. Strategic rockets, this is the 9. Got an 8, so that's a no. Heavy battleships, that's a 9, so we got heavy battleships. And last one is heavy carriers. Got 11, got that one, so that one's completed. So this is what the board looks like now. I moved everything up. Still lacking at strategic rockets. All important for future reference. Okay, another housekeeping thing. Apparently, USA is at 69 IPP. I had them at 68, so that's 1. and improve factories or improve construction. So this factory costs $1 cheaper. This one costs $1 cheaper. So that's 3 IPP. That gives you Americans 92 IPPs to spend because we had 89. Okay, let's see what we're purchasing. Advanced sub for the French. A jet fighter for the FEC. One attack transport. One medium tank. One U.S. Marine. 2 cavalry. 2 militia. Another U.S. Marine. An upgrade militia. Transport, air transport. Starting construction on a battleship. 3 destroyers. And 2 more attack subs. Or advanced subs. Okay, now let's move to combat. We have several combat moves. Since I'm in the Pacific here, we are taking this attack transport, moving it 1, 2, down to West Timor, right here, the Japanese-owned island, taking 2 U.S. infantry off of Hong Kong, off the Hong Kong map right here. This medium bomber will be flying with it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The medium bomber will be assisting into that fight. Next battle we have from Sea Zone 127. This attack transport will go 1, 2 to Seaport 125, bringing along the infantry to attack New Guinea. The Marine will also attack New Guinea, and the cruiser wants an offshore bombardment. Let me think over here. Do I have any other combat moves on this side of the board? None up there. None up there. All right. Let's move over to the Pacific side. In the Mediterranean, we're taking this transport, and he's going to Sea Zone, leaving Sea Zone 80, going through 51 to 151. So he's going up there in Sea Zone 151, taking 1 infantry off of northern Algeria, dropping him off in Albania. Taking this guy off of Sicily and dropping him off in Yugoslavia. Claiming those for the Americans. Right here, Yugoslavia and Albania is now part of the peaceful nation of America. If you want to call it peaceful. But hey, I didn't go there. Sea Zone 50. With the new fleet right here, contacting my opponents. Global 36 Enthusiast has submerged his 2 subs. Panzer J decided to submerge his 5 subs. And he decided not to scramble any fighters. So, what we have is 1 battleship, 1 cruiser, 1 German destroyer, 1 transport. And the Americans are bringing 2 coastal subs from Sea Zone 79, 1, 2 with the port, 2 advanced subs from Sea Zone 79 up to Seaport 80, 2 destroyers from 79, a torpedo boat destroyer, and a coastal defense ship. Another attack sub, advanced sub, so that's a total of 3 going in there. And the carrier carrying 2 jet fighters will be all going into that battle. Let me see if there's any more combat moves. Let's see. None over there. None over there. I think that is all the battles we're going to have. So let's start with New Guinea. The Dutch New Guineas. I'm going to have an offshore bombardment with a cruiser of, I think it's a 3. Heavy cruiser is actually a 2. So I get a 2. My marine is a 2, and the infantry is attacking at a 2, and the militia defends at a 2. So here's the cruiser offshore bombardment at a 2. And it's 11, so it's a miss. Here's the marine and infantry at a 2 to attack the militia. And we got them. Actually, we both got them. A double bullseye, snake eyes if you will. And here's the militia to fire back at a 2. Barely missed at a 3, so the Dutch New Guinea falls. The Americans claim Dutch New Guinea. Okay, let's put a flag out there. There's a flag on Dutch New Guinea. Let's do the Battle of West Timor. The bomber attacks at a 7. And then I have 2 infantry. Looks like not mountain, so it attacks at 2, and 1 militia attacks at 2. Okay, so here's the bomber at a 7. Missed. Here's the 2 infantry to attack at 2. Miss, miss. And here's the militia to defend at 2. Miss. So here's the 2. Oh, here's the medium bomber again. Round 2. Hit with a 6. So here's the militia to fire back. He hit. 1 of the infantry will die. The militia will fall. And West Timor falls to the Americans. Okay. And boom, boom. Do I have any more fights over here? Before I forget, that was 4, 5, 6, 7. The bomber lands in Western Australia because they have a transport. 4 to get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 in Australia. I believe that is done for this side. And walk-ins for Yugoslavia and Albania, so that's done. And let's do this big naval battle. He does have a destroyer. Defends at a 4. Cruiser defends at a 6. Battleship defends at an 8. 2 coastal ships, or 2 coastal subs, attacks at 2. They get a first strike at 1, or target select at 1. Attack transports, or advanced subs, attack at 4 with a target select at 1. So I have 1, 2, 3 of those. And those can hit all of them. And this torpedo boat destroyer is also a 2. These are 4s. That torpedo boat destroyer is a 6. Carrier can't hit, but the jet fighters will be 8 if it goes that far. So here are the 2 coastal subs. They attack at 2, target select at 1. Target select. So I select a first ding on the battleship. They don't get first strike, but target select. So target select, I check the battleship. Let's do the coastal or torpedo boat destroyer at a 2. He got a 1. So that's another hit. And here's the 4 subs. Same thing. Target select at 1. And we got another one. And another hit. So that's 2 more. And that's 2, 3, 4. That's all the ships actually. And then, so it doesn't matter if I roll anymore. Here's the 2 torpedo or 2 destroyers anyway. Another hit. And the 2 jet fighters. Another hit. So a lot of hits. So the Navy will go down. Battleship at 8. Hit. Cruiser at 6. Hit. Destroyer at 4. Miss, miss. So let's take out 1 coastal sub and 1 torpedo boat destroyer. So those are my 2 casualties. And the Italians lose all their ships, minus the big subfleet here. And the Americans are moving into Sea Zone 50. Give me 1 second to throw them all on there and I'll show you. Well, maybe not, because they don't want to stay. Maybe I should get another American card. Well, let me just leave it down here then and put a card out there. But we're all in Sea Zone 50 right there, hanging out with the Italians. So in the combat moves, we go up 3 for Yugoslavia, down for Germany. I have them at 56. 1, 2, 3. America goes up 1, 2, 3. In the Pacific side, I have the Americans going up 2. Japan down 2. So I have Japan at 18. Now I'm moving down to 16. And the Americans up to 74. Now, let's do a series of non-combat moves. Okay, let's start in the Pacific since I'm over here. Taking a transport and 2 infantry. So 2 Americans are staying, and or 1 American is staying, and 1 American, actually it's not staying, but 2 Americans on the. Oh, I lost you there for a second. Okay, so this transport picking up 2 infantry off the Hong Kong card and going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dropping 2 Americans off up there in Egypt. So Sea Zone 82 is the American transport. Okay. Destroyer off of Australia, Sea Zone 146. We'll be going I'll come back to that destroyer. Okay, over here. Up here in Sea Zone, or Sea of Japan, there is a transport. Where is it at? Transport. Off of the inside card. Picking up this Marine. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. Down the Sea Zone 88. With the Marine. Picking up the infantry from Hong Kong. And we're going to drop them off in Siam. Okay, they're in Siam now. Okay. Now we have a series of U.S. planes. Jet fighter. Goes 1, 2, leaves Hong Kong. So 1, 2, 3, drops off in Hokkaido. Jet fighter leaves the carrier, goes into Hokkaido. They go off the carrier. Now, from Hong Kong, this card right here, the plane, 1, 2, 3, drops onto Hokkaido, onto the carrier outside of Hokkaido. And the last tactical, 1, 2, 3, 4, drops off in Hokkaido. They're all there. They're there. I don't think there's any more movements on this side. Non-combat on this side. The tank will move to Tunisia. And right here, this whole fleet will go to Sea Zone 74. So Sea Zone 30, 44, 46, 74. Right below the sub with the 3 transports, battleship, 2 destroyers, attack sub, carrying the infantry, 5 infantry actually, and 2 advanced artillery, all in this Sea Zone 74, right there. Any other non-combat? Well, and you know what? Let's go back to KMT. I totally spaced them. KMT does have 1 possession of 1 island left. KMT has 9 IPP. They're spending all 9s. And they're building 3 infantry. And you guessed it, they're all going on that little Heinen, or whatever you want to call it, right there. All 3 infantry. They will have, what is it? $1 to spend next turn no matter what. So, is that all my non-combat moves? So, okay, so in Sea Zone 50, the Americans will have 1 coastal sub, 2 destroyers, and let me compact this, 3 advanced subs, 1 coastal ship, and that aircraft carrier with 2 jet fighters on it. Now, let's place units. The French will receive a advanced sub. Goes in Sea Zone 80, has a free ride. The Russians were nice enough to lend us a hand and move out of the way for them. I thank you for that. The FEC wants their fighter in Bombay. They have another jet fighter there. Okay. We'll put the battleship on the production chart in stage 3 right there. We're going to put the air transport in Hokkaido right up here, and we're going to upgrade this militia to an infantry. So that takes care of this and that. Okay, we are going to put, let me get this out because I didn't have it ready. My defense for the West Coast. Here's the defense for the West Coast now. 1 cavalry in Seattle. 1 cavalry in Washington, D.C. 1 U.S. Marine, 1 medium tank, and the attack. Which I lost the attack transport. Also, we'll go in San Francisco. Everything went into San Francisco. So the U.S. Marine Corps, cavalry, and medium tank went there, and the cavalry went there. Second U.S. Marine will go in the Rio. Okay. 1 militia will go in the Sardinia. Right there. The second militia guessed it, we'll go in a Hokkaido up here. Okay, and now we have 3 destroyers going to Washington and 2 subs going to Washington right there. Okay, so let's collect the money. There's my board. Here's my 2 dice for wartime economy. 7. Okay. So the Americans have 74. Plus 12 is 86. Plus 7 is 93. Is that correct? I believe that is correct. KMT has the 1. And I believe that is it for everybody. Okay. Let's start a review for the Americans and the KMT in this turn 14.7, and the British and the Free French. Here's the tech chart. Looks about normal about what's going on. The Americans are a little lagging behind in the tech race. Wartime, the British are in trouble, which is supposed to be at this time. The Germans are doing okay, the Russians are doing okay, the Americans are trying to pull up. So the Americans have this fleet in the middle of the water, right next to a sub. Britain looks in trouble. London doesn't look pretty at all. It looks like it's going to be a bloody mess for them. Whoever goes in it, it's going to be a bloody mess. A lot of casualties. Germans have enough infantry to take it. But does the British have enough to take out planes? Can the British? I don't know. It's going to be just a bloody mess. The Italians, the Americans went in this time, and I would say more successful than the last time. They own lots of ships outside the waters of the Italy there. They lost their battleship, lost the transport. The only naval surface ship left is one transport. There is, of course, 3 subs in the water, 2 German subs, 2 Russian subs. The British have a small navy out there. Tug of war here in northern Africa. The French pulled out, but the Italians struck back heavily. They didn't have enough units to take the land, but to destroy the army, that they did. The Italians retreated out of Egypt and Transjordan. I'm not sure they weren't scared. It's easier to defend than attack, so their army's in Syria. The Americans decided to join the Egyptians. I thought there was going to be a war in Iran. Still might be. Afghanistan took the beating though. Bombay looked like a little smaller than last time. They had to help their friends out over here, but Russia really looks strong right there. They spaced out up here. They also took a piece of America. Alaska is now communist. Hokkaido looks pretty strong up there. 3 jet fighters, 1 tactical, a transport, 1 infantry, and 1 militia. Instead of on the carriers jets, there's 1 tactical and 1 fighter. It's still pretty strong. The West Coast now has a TAC transport, a U.S. Marine, cavalry, tank, another cavalry, and infantry over there. I'm not sure. Hong Kong, well, they didn't really want to do much. And I meant to move 146. He is going to move the destroyer. Thinking of him, he is going to go to 126 outside New Guinea. He's going to go his movements there, leaving everybody left alone. China, KMT, is reduced to 1 island, 1 IPP. Other than that, I believe that is round 14. Turn 14 is now in the books. We're moving to 15.1, Panzer J and the Germany turn, and 15.1 in 1943. Fighting Irish out. Thank you.